We're going to we'll start with Mississippi State, and we're going to rank the schedule. Easiest game to most difficult game, 14-1. 14-1, easiest game to most difficult game. Let's start, obviously, with the easiest, and I mean, no spoilers, but it's the first one.
Yeah, for both teams. Yeah, it's the FCS game. I mean, there's just no question about it. For State of Southeast Louisiana and for Ole Miss, it'll be Mercer.
So Mississippi State number 14 is South CELA. Number 13 is?
It's got to be Western Michigan for me.
Yeah.
I don't know a ton about the Broncos, but a MAC team, a mid-tier MAC team, doesn't seem like it should present much of a challenge to an SEC team. So that's where I'm going to go.
This one, at the risk of offending, what's number 12?
Yeah, there's going to be offense taken, but there's just no way around it. I mean, it's got to be Southern Miss. Now, I will say this. There's a big gap for me between Western Michigan and Southern Miss. There's a small gap for me between Southern Miss and Arizona. But a Sun Belt team, I mean, try to strip it down away from it's Southern Miss and Mississippi State, and there was a time when Southern Miss dominated that rivalry. You just have to look at it in terms of this is a Sun Belt team versus an SEC team. Nobody is going to make a prediction, especially in June, that the Sun Belt team would win. So, it's Southern Miss.
So then,
go ahead and clip it, Cloverleaf Mall. Go ahead and do it, buddy. I know that's how it's going to make you happy. That's what you got to do to get through life. Do what you got to do, my friend. Clip it out, send it out. Maybe we'll copyright infringe you one of these days.
You wouldn't do that.
I'm a petty person. I'll do whatever I want.
Okay. So, CELA, Western Michigan. 12 was USM. 11, Arizona. Okay.
This is going to be interesting for Ole Miss.
Who's 10?
Do you put an SEC team, do you put Vanderbilt below one of the non-conference games? That'll be interesting for the Rebels when you get to that. 10, this is where it's interesting, right? State doesn't really have doesn't have a Vanderbilt, doesn't have Missouri on the schedule.
Right.
It's probably Kentucky.
I think it's Kentucky at home.
Yeah. State's had a lot of success against Kentucky at home over the last, decade plus. I got a lot of questions about Kentucky, especially if Devin Leary can't stay healthy. He had trouble doing that at North Carolina State. If he's not healthy, I don't like that Kentucky team at all.
Okay, number 9. I think I know where you're going, but I'm going to let you go there.
Auburn.
Okay. I was going to say South Carolina is where I thought you were going.
No, I think South Carolina, especially since that's on the road. I like Rattler better than I like Thorne.
Yeah.
Auburn would be my pick here as the ninth easiest game. And we're kind of the wording of this makes it,
I've said 14-1. I'm sorry. That's just me being dumb. There's 14 teams in the SEC. There's 12 games on the schedule. 12-1, right. Not 14-1. My bad. Thank you.
I didn't catch it either. But when we say easiest, that's sort of a misnomer. Right? It's going to be a hard game.
Yeah.
It's not going to be an easy game by any stretch of the imagination.
So you have at Auburn at 9, and then is it South Carolina at 8, or is it Arkansas at 8?
It's Ole Miss.
You have Ole Miss ahead of South Carolina in terms of difficulty, I assume because Ole Miss is at home?
Here we go. I made the Southern fans mad. Let's just go for the Ole Miss fans, too. It's at home. I just have a ton of questions about Ole Miss defensively. Like, I know Judkins and Dart are going to be really good, but are they going to be able to stop anybody? They couldn't last year. And this is a team that's going to run the football more this year. Ole Miss can't stop the run. So, yeah, that's I'm putting the Rebels there.
So Ole Miss is at 8. Who's at 7?
Mm-hmm. That's where I'll go with South Carolina.
Okay.
I'll take them there.
And then
Arkansas.
At Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
What about number 5?
Have I missed one?
I don't think so.
I feel
You
So
still
then
have
at
remaining.
5
You have LSU, Alabama at home, at Arkansas, at Texas A&M. Those are your last 5.
All right, and I just did Arkansas.
Arkansas is at 6.
So then I should have
I'm
4
still
more.
doing it wrong. I'm doing 14. I'm an idiot. Just ignore me.
So
After Arkansas.
So I have 4 more?
Yes.
Okay. So I have, what do I have left? A&M, Alabama, LSU, and who else?
A&M, Alabama, LSU, A&M. That's it.
I have 3 left.
3 left.
Okay. At A&M. And not that I necessarily think A&M is going to be
I screwed this
really
whole
good.
thing up. I screwed it all up.
Yeah, it's
14-12.
Doesn't
Oh,
matter.
what an idiot.
yeah. I not that I think A&M is especially good, as I laughed at Richard Cross about yesterday, but that being said, talent is definitely there. And of the 4 road games, that to me is probably the toughest.
All right. Number 2.
And then it'll be LSU and then Alabama. LSU is a game that series has become a lot more competitive. And we went through 20 years where it was almost every year it was 35, 40 points. And since State won down there in 14, that series has become relatively competitive. And State's had some success in it. They've won 3 times, I think, in the last 10 after not winning but once in the previous 22. So that game is at least a game where you can say, hey, that's winnable. Alabama is just – State has scored – a total of 16 of 23 points in the last 5 games against Alabama.
Ooh.
I mean, everybody else in the conference has had a competitive game against Alabama in that time frame, except for Mississippi State. Yeah. Some teams have beaten them. Mississippi State has not even been competitive. So, I got to see them go into the fourth quarter and they're not down 30 before I'll even consider that to be a competitive kind of game.
So I screwed that whole segment up. Anyway, 12,
okay.
Selah, 11, Western Michigan, 10, Southern Miss, 9, Arizona, 8, Kentucky, 7, Auburn, 6, Ole Miss, 5, South Carolina, 4, Arkansas, 3, A&M, 2, LSU, 1, Alabama.
That's correct. That would be my order, yeah.